Archives is Universal 144. Today's Thursday, the 20th of October, 2022. So we're on the cusp from Libra to Scorpio season. That is somewhat apparent to some people right now. Also, eclipse season. Okay. That's those of you that are interested in that. I'm getting a lot of things about like weather, okay? Like I'm talking the weather. Okay, so those of you that have things that you need to accomplish before the full-blown winter time, if the weather is graceful to you, like, you know, go ahead and do it. Okay, do it now, because I feel like I don't know where you guys live, okay, but I feel as though the weather is going to become unpredictable when we hit the end of Scorpio season. Okay. Don't know why I was getting that. Anyway, back at the ranch. So, somebody out there could be questioning what it is they truly desire, because possibly okay, think back to when you were a child, okay, or just kid-like in the mind, but really mature. Doesn't mean you were immature. It just means you were more childlike in nature and you knew what you liked and what you did not like. Okay? Think back to that moment. Okay? And then think back to the conditions that were placed upon you during that time to divert you from those likes and dislikes. Okay? So if you go back to that in the mind, okay, you might be seeing this show up now. I don't care how old you are, but you're probably going to see this show up now, to where you have a like for something, but you're going along with the herd mentality because it's not suitable for them. Let me tell you something about that and how dangerous that is. Those people and those judgments, okay, are not in your skin and in your body and in your socks, and in your pants, and in your shirt, or in your bed, or in your bank account, every day you wake up. They're not, okay? A lot of people don't understand this because they look and seek outside approval for every single thing in their life because they've never learned how to trust themselves on how they feel about a situation. There's too much stuff going on in the mind because they watch too much media, okay? They look at other people's lives and do a comparison to theirs that's fake anyway, because you don't know that person's life. Never will you. You're not them, okay? And so they create all these problems, these tower moments. Oh, I should have done that. Looking back at it, I should have done that. Yeah. Really what you should have done was go with what you felt was good for you, okay? And I'm not talking about complacency. I'm not talking about those who stay in situations that make them feel comfortable, but they never grow. That's a no-no as well. You just don't do that. If within a year span, you are still at the same point you were last year, you're not growing, okay? And you will become unhappy and depressed, and it will go on into a spiral, and then you will start becoming the judgment of other people's lives that you have no clue of. Okay, you will be poverty-stricken in spirit and finances. and self-love, and therefore personal relationships. Okay? You have to have a good relationship with yourself to have a great relationship with somebody else who just adds to your life. Okay? Because your life's complete already. You're happy already. Okay? So this Scorpio season, there's going to be a lot of people find their independence. They're going to see, it's like an epiphany will happen. This is for those who choose to change certain behavior patterns and really have a deep introspection of, you know what, this has happened multiple times in my life at different times with different people, places, things. So there has to be something I can do that can fix this. And those are the people who will transform during Scorpio season. It's the 8th house. It's death, taxes, rebirth, transformation at the highest level. A lot of people, on a side note here, a lot of people who cannot handle change, who get faced with their own bullshit, they do commit, there's more suicides during Scorpio season than any season. Okay? It's unfortunate, but it does happen. I've seen it. Okay? So, I used to document this stuff. Okay? In medical, like in the ER, like how many, attempted, suicides did we have in the ER? Well, during Scorpio season, it was massive. Okay? Because people didn't want to face their own freaking image. They didn't want to go get help. They didn't want to, it was easier just to be complacent and act like everybody else is crazy but me. It's like, no, dude. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. So, and nobody's truly crazy. People just have had enough, right? And so sometimes they will tell you the heck off. And a Scorpio is ruled by Mars, just like an Aries. Aries has more composure. They just move on to something else to distract them, when they're mad, so that they don't go off on you. And we forget and forgive like super quick. Scorpio holds a grudge to the day they die. Because they're not just ruled by Mars, but they're also ruled by Pluto. Okay? Which is the coldest planet. So, and that's the only zodiac that's ruled by 2 planets. Like, technically, whichever way that you go. I'm talking about Western astrology, not Eastern, not Vedic. Okay. So, there's that. And I just think that it depends on what part of the globe you're in, on what you resonate with. Unless you were born in the other side of the globe, then that probably resonates with you a lot more. Like if I was to go with Vedic astrology, my rising sign is Scorpio, not Libra. So with the rising Scorpio, it's like, holy crap, watch out. Like, that's some heavy placement. Like 2 Mars rulers. Okay. But Western Libra, thank God. Balance, right? So there's that. Somebody's independence is going to be reformed here. Because I feel like somebody already had it. And we all did. We all had our individual thought form, this and that, when we were younger and less judged. And just thought it was cute that we thought so innocently. There are experiences and there are programmings that happen to you over a certain age, right? To where you conform. Okay. And those who don't conform to those things, but don't publicly state it all the time, they just live their life by their own creed and code, typically seem to be antisocial. But in reality, they're very social. They just only socialize with certain people on their frequency. Because they don't want to hear other people's opinions, because other people's opinions don't matter. What matters is their own. Very strong within. And they really could give a flying heck what the heck people think about them. Okay. So this is going to be eye-opening when somebody goes for this, okay? when somebody goes for something, and it could be a person, place, or thing, anything like that. Maybe somebody's moving. I don't know, okay? Maybe somebody says, you know what? It's about time that I go talk to this family member that might be on their deathbed or something like that everybody's told me never to talk to because they're a bad person. People change, okay? Not all people, right? But people do change. And just you doing that service there and see, so we have the death card here, which is Scorpio. So the death card in Scorpio, and the tower is Scorpio in the tarot, if, for those who didn't know. I feel like I have new people watching me that have never even, I think I have people watching me that are like, tarot is so creepy. But in reality, it's been around for a very, very long time. Okay? Very long time. And it's just a story of the fool's journey to mastery of the human condition. That's all it is. Okay? For those that didn't know. So you get to this point, hopefully during Scorpio season of your independence, and seeing that there was nothing to fear but fear itself, right? A lot of people don't want to say what they think. A lot of people, they don't want to do what they feel obligated to do, like out of their own self. Nobody else's opinion. They do what they're obligated to do out of outside influence, okay? And so when you break off with these connections with people like that, you know, the Jonesy stuff, this and that and whatever, you know, people who talk about like the new object they just bought, people who were like sucked into their phone all the time, buying crap all the time, they're checked out. They're in the matrix, the 3D format. And that distracts them from what they really want out of life because they have something new, a new object, a new shiny thing to look at. But it's never enough. They have to buy more and more and more, okay, to make themselves feel better, okay? Because it does, it's an effort. It's just like a drug. It's just like any of that. It's like, oh, I got this now. Okay, now what do I want to buy next? But it's like, it's an accumulation of shit, okay, that when you're gone, you could not take with you. Look it up. The Egyptians did this weird shit, putting stuff in tombs to go with them to the afterlife that they valued. Do you really think that any of those things went with you? No. They were a distraction from your soul's progression, okay? The object of somebody could be a certain type of person that they want. That becomes an obsession to them. People get batshit during this time. Like I'm talking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And there's going to be people who realize that you're way too good for them. Okay? And I'm not saying that everybody's better than other. No, they just realize that there's something different about you. You're way too good for them. But they think you're stupid because you never said anything. These mofos are going to be coming back into your life trying to get you and suck you down like crabs in a barrel. The reason you never put a lid on a barrel with 3 crabs is because they never get out. They don't. You don't even need a lid for that 5-gallon bucket. As soon as one almost reaches the top, they're going to pull that one down because they think they can get over the other one and the other one and get out. That's 3D, okay? That's the 3rd dimension mindset concept that everybody's in most of the time until you elevate. And we won't talk about me. I can see it all, okay? I can see it all with people. So, and I just don't say anything because you know what? It's not my place. Not my monkeys, not my circus. I leave the circus to them. But there are people that are going to see during this season, this is the collective read, that you are way too good for them. That you have transformed from nothing when they slandered the crap out of you and this and that and said you would be nothing to something highly independent, okay, that is shining like no object they could ever imagine to buy. No amount of gold. Because you're a gold soul, okay? And you see through these people and they know it, okay? They'll get to that point, if not already. And once they know that you see through them, through their facade, they will want to take you down with them because you won't entertain them anymore. So prepare for that during Scorpio season. People get really ugly during this time. Use your intuition, okay? Be careful who you collaborate with, who you lay in bed with, and who you entertain in your mind. Pay attention to your dreams at this time as well. Make a goal list because you have just the right amount of time when it comes to moon cycles, if you believe in that, but just basically the transition cycle of Scorpio, to have new priorities and goals and set them before the new year. We're going into a 7-year, coming from a 6. This is highly important. It's the crown, okay? You want that open? Do the work, okay? Don't be giving your energy to people who are low vibe tribe, okay? And don't be shocked when they try to slander you and get your goat just for you to talk to them. They know not what they do. They're batshit, okay? All right, that's all I have. Thank you.